Hey everybody, and welcome to Robin's house. Today we're working on those cute smitten projects. And in many of the cards and the layouts, we use a lot of techniques like stitching. And I don't know if this is actually stitching, but it acts a lot like it. So I want to show you a quick little video about my tips and techniques about creating stitches and lines on your projects. So there are two kinds of journaling pens. We've got the black one and then the jelly white one. The white one is great because you can put it on colored projects, especially darker colored projects. But when we're using the journaling pen as stitching, I know that a lot of you don't like stitching by hand or you don't like it. So I wanted to show you some techniques. So obviously, when I'm stitching, I just start and I stitch along the sides. But you guys are concerned about how even the stitches are or how straight they are. And so my technique for that is to use a cheat. So why not lay down a paper where you want your lines to go, and then just draw on top of them. And then your lines are always straight. No, you can't, you can see that mine are changing how long they are, but they sure are going to look nice when they're straight. And then I would use the same thing. See how nice they turned out? Straight as an arrow. And then you can also do the same thing if you want a line around the edge of your projects. Just line it up and draw. See, perfect. Now, one thing that I will note is the faster you go, the lighter your line is going to be. So go nice and slow and keep it the same way the whole way, or you'll end up like this with a lighter line. Okay, so that is our journaling pens. Now for our gel pens, well, they're kind of the same. When I'm doing my lines, I just freehand it. The faster you go, the lighter your line is going to be. But there isn't any reason why I can't set up well, it's easier if I use another color, isn't it? Why I can't set up a cheat on this as well, but the gel pens are going to be even worse. The faster you go, the more inconsistent your line is going to be. So you want to have a nice, even line, I guess. If you do need to go over it, just be aware that it will create some train tracks as you go. But if you keep it wet and you just keep going, eventually it will fill those train tracks with a nice, solid, pretty line. And then the other part is the stitching. So when I'm stitching, you might just think you stitch just like you did with the black pen. And I'm going to say that you don't. First of all, I don't know how well you can see. Can you tell that at the very end where you picked up your pen is a little white dot that's darker than all the rest of the line? You're going to get that. So one thing that I do is when I'm stitching, I go kind of back and forth several times as I go. And in theory, my dot ends in a different place with every stitch. But of course, there's no guaranteeing that. But it does keep my line a lot darker. And it isn't quite so set. And then again, you can also have this with with the same color paper, if you want to keep it nice and straight, and that makes it even easier because then you can kind of go over it as many times as you want to, because you're going against a paper and it's very easy to find your way. Just be aware, same with anything. If you're doing it up against something and you do too much, it can bleed on your project and you might be sad. So just be aware of that. So those are my tips and techniques for using your journaling pen and your white gel pen to enhance your pages. So give it a try. I hope this helped. Let me know. Happy crafting.